Hey everybody, thank you very much for joining me today here in the den at Friendship Shaving. We've got a storm going on outside, so my apologies if any of that noise from the rain comes through onto the video. Now, today I am going to be shaving with a $1 razor. It is available from the dollar store in the United States, and it is the Assured for Men double-edged safety razor pack. It comes like this, inexpensively wrapped, but you get the razor and the razor blades for $1, and I think that is incredibly good value. And I'd just like to say thank you to Keith and Anthony, who, when I got this razor in an unboxing from Brian, Keith and Anthony provided me with some good information about this razor, and I thought I would use their information in this video. So thank you guys, thank you very much. The blade is unbranded on the actual steel itself, and by all accounts, they are a pretty good blade that tend to go under the radar. There we are. Now, the soap I've got today on my brush is Southern Witchcrafts Samhain. A little sample there. I was not going to use this, but as we're coming up to the end of October, I thought it was a good time to sneak it in. So I've got some on my brush already, using a rubber set today, my boar bristle brush, which I've had soaking. I wet my face earlier and I've got my pre-shave on, so we're all ready to get started now. This is quite a complex scented soap, I feel. I think the first time I've used it, but the scent notes are bourbon, tobacco, pumpkin and sandalwood, and I can certainly smell the bourbon and the tobacco coming through there, and possibly a bit of pumpkin. It also has nutmeg, oud, incense, amber, vanilla, hazelnut, charred wood and musk. So it'll be very interesting to see if the scent changes during my shave, but first impressions are that it is quite a nice warm scent, definitely getting the bourbon and the tobacco, which I like. Bit of pumpkin, perhaps a little bit of sandalwood. I'm not picking any nutmeg up at the moment. And as I'm not super keen on nutmeg, that's a good thing for me. Perhaps I'm getting a little bit of oud there. But certainly very pleasant on opening up our little sample and taking a sniff. And honestly, it's just the day when you want a nice, warm, comforting scent. As we're coming up to the clocks changing and the winter months here being a bit darker. So this is a very nice soap for me today. There, I think we're going to go with that. It feels very nice putting it on. Now here we go. This is the Assured razor for men. It could do with a little bit of oil in the mechanism there on this one. Obviously for $1 it is going to be a very cheap razor, but it is very shiny, and actually it is reasonably well finished. The only place it kind of isn't is on the end caps there, but for $1, well, you know, it's not going to be perfect, is it, for $1, let's face it. Let's give this a go, shall we? Now, it is a very lightweight razor. It's actually based on the Weishi 9306. And that razor is a copy of a Gillette Super Speed. Now the Weishi razor basically comes in two handle lengths, a short handle and the long handle, the EL, but there are lots of different finishes to that razor, so you tend to find that there are quite a lot of, you know, like the 9306A, the 9306B, etc, etc. Do you know, my first impressions are good for this razor. If I hold up this British Rocket, you know, you can perhaps see some similarities there in the design. The blade is showing evenly both sides. Apparently you can get them sometimes and the blade will be a little more aggressive on one side than the other, or a little more efficient, should we say. And actually, I think that is the case here. Yeah, definitely. This side is just, feels a little bit less efficient than this side. So, try and remember which side I'm on. Now guys, I'm not able to get out very much, and I don't actually know if we have an equivalent razor in this country. So perhaps if you're able to get out and about, you could tell me, if, you know, do we have a razor that we can buy for an equivalent cost, £1? The razor blades are not bad. It feels just a little, not rough, that's not the right word, but I think they'll probably be smoother on the second shave. That's how it feels. But they're certainly not a bad razor blade. I would say the razor itself feels like a 1950s style Super Speed. It feels a little more aggressive than my Rocket here. But, you know, first pass was pretty good. oops, sorry about that. I was thinking that it was going to be quite a mild razor, but it doesn't feel that mild at all. There's definitely some blade feel, and it is more effective than I imagined it was going to be. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some pumpkin through in the soap now. Trying to see what else is coming through. Maybe a little bit of hazelnut and maybe just a little bit of charring. Maybe that'll increase as I go on. There's no real knurling on the brush, it's just the sort of loosely printed pattern, but nevertheless it's not slippy. Now I'm going to go and ride the head a little bit on this. I'm actually a little bit sore from that, but it is the first time I've used it. Second pass is always better than the first for me. Yeah, it's definitely a little better if I ride the cap a little bit. So I'm definitely going at more of a 45-degree angle. It seems to suit me better at this angle. I think this would definitely work well if you had heavy growth or a coarse beard. For me, it's definitely a razor that I have to hold really lightly and not put pressure on. And maybe on the first pass, I was a little heavy-handed with this. Now, it is made of a very thin metal, and Keith mentions that if you drop this, it's likely that the doors won't close after you've dropped it. I would say that this one is not a mild razor for me. It's definitely medium going up into a more aggressive razor. I don't remember the Weishi being like that. The Weishi was definitely a milder razor. Obviously, the tolerances are not going to be great on this razor, I wouldn't have thought, but for $1, I am quite surprised, because I'm definitely getting a close shave. and I think it has its place in the market, obviously. It's sad to think in this day and age, but there are people out there that, you know, are really struggling. So a razor like this has its place, and those people can still get a good shave for $1. I must admit, I wouldn't like to use this every day for the moment, but I bet if I used this all the time, I would really get used to it. I think that tends to be the way with quite a few razors for me. You sort of get tuned into their sort of idiosyncrasies. So I'm going to go against the grain now on the third pass, and I am going to go very lightly. Now it's lightweight, so you may be able to hear it singing. It seems to me to be quite loud. There's a fair bit of blade feel in this for me. Ah, there we go, that's different. Yeah, definitely one side is different to the other, without a doubt. This side is much better. If you like a more aggressive razor, I think this would suit you actually. Oh, there we go, guys. A $1 razor. Do you know, it was okay. It's not a perfect shave, but it's certainly not a bad shave. It worked okay. I was going to say, if you wanted to experiment with DE shaving or shaving with a safety razor, this might be an option, but actually I think that one is a little aggressive for that if you've never shaved with one before. That's how it feels to me anyway, and I'm actually going to put a little alum on today. So here we go, the magic alum just for some skin healing. And actually I could definitely feel after that I need a bit of skin healing. Yeah, that's working all over. It's particularly not bad, it's worse there and round there. Everywhere else is just mild tingling, really. So nothing too bad. Yeah, do you know, for $1, a very effective shave. I mean, I'd be happy with that. If I wanted to go for a job interview and I had no money, $1, that'd be okay, you know. Ooh. So there we are, that is my shave with $1 razor. I'm just looking for what I'm going to put on today. And I think I'm just going to stick with some Paraso White today. So it was a nice shave with the Samhain soap from Southern Witchcrafts. I've been looking on a website, a lot of their sort of scents seem to be quite dark. But that one isn't, despite its name. I expected it to be quite a dark scent, but it's not. Do you know what, actually, now that my skin is settling down, that is quite the effective shave. Yeah, $1, guys. Love to know if we have something like this in the UK. But $1, wow, incredible. So, Brian, for sending that through to me, thank you very much. And Keith and Anthony, thank you for commenting on that. Really appreciate that you guys try these things out and let me know, because that is my first experience of shaving with something that costs $1. Wow. Anyway, take care of yourselves. I'll see you shortly. All the very best now. Happy Halloween. Bye bye.